Hello, here's Katja Keller, and today I want to speak about this situation that everybody knows, actually the situation where you feel stuck. And when I say that everybody knows, really, it doesn't matter whether you've just begun playing an instrument or you're a grandmaster, you actually could get into a situation like this. You try, you have a sequence of notes, rapido, you have a chord, or you have a rhythm, or you have a number of notes to play, you read the sheet music, or you memorize. Well, we can all arrive there, that we just feel like, well, nothing works. I just, whatever I do, no matter how many times I've tried with this way of doing things or the other, I still get into something that doesn't match and something doesn't work. Well, as I said, doesn't matter which level you're on. The masters, the great masters even, they arrive there too. There's a very known story of Glenn Gould, the legendary Canadian pianist, who was obviously, he was God with piano, with what he was doing and tempi and everything. But he described in a letter that once he was working on a sonata of Scriabin, and then there was a passage that he just could not execute. He was trying, no matter what he tried, no matter what kind of gimmicks and tricks he tried, it didn't work. So what did Glenn do? He actually found a really good alternative solution. He put two loudspeakers on his piano, and in one loudspeaker he put Rolling Stones music, and on the other it was Beatles or something, and he put the volume on the maximum. So in fact, with all these chaotic sounds and rock and everything, he actually could not hear what he himself was playing on the piano. So what he had to do, that's the way he describes it, right? What he had to do, he had to really get focused on his inner hearing, on his inner ear, and when he did, actually the body followed perfectly, and suddenly he could play that passage with it was flawless, it was perfect. And so he tried a couple of times with all this music on, and then he turned it off, and the body and the mind has matched together, because when he redirected his attention to his inner hearing, to his inner ear, he in fact appealed for the intuitive intelligence, for the intelligence of the right brain, if you want, and the body, as the body follows the brain, so the body actually found a way to execute this mental intuitive program. And that's the solution, that's the idea, that once if you feel that you got stuck, that you feel that you worked on this particular piece, part of the piece, it could be just one bar, and you feel that, well, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do with it, okay, clear your mind and find an alternative action. And of course, it doesn't have to be the same as Glenn's, although you can try that, it's a pretty good one. But it could be anything, because the thing is that you've got to redirect your attention, and the best way is to actually to get it redirected into your inner mind, into your inner ear, into your inner hearing, so that you actually appeal to this intuitive intelligence. And you know, in my methods I give dozens of those tips and tricks on how to do things, and of course the alternative actions, they could apply for any in any field of your work. It could be sight reading, or it could be the memorizing, or it could be the technical execution, like a rhythmic, finding the swing and how to, or coordination of your limbs and stuff. Like for instance, if you get stuck into memorizing a piece and you remember pretty well most of it, but then there are a couple of bars that you always forget how to do it. So how to do it? Again, redirect your attention. Do not try to replay this particular part of the piece. Now, you can play whatever you already memorized, and then at that particular point you just stop and you try the best you can to replay those notes in your mind as though it continues, the music continues. Try this. Or say if you are doing a sight reading and you know that you've seen this music many times before, but you always get stuck and jumping from one line to another, from one stuff to another. So what to do? Okay, put that sheet music aside. Take another one. Doesn't matter which one, could be upside down for all that matters. And what you do, the psalmization exercise, what is it? It is just naming the notes. Naming the notes one after another in a kind of regular way. And it doesn't matter, because what you do, you kind of refresh your mode of thinking, reset your inner computer, if you will. And then there are other solutions, like for instance for the rhythmic, for the rhythm, the swing. One of my pupils who's working on the piece, the song that's called Autumn in New York, and it's a pretty known jazz standard, and he was doing well. I mean, he could play his piano part and he could sing, but separately he couldn't put those two together, because when he tried to put it together, suddenly there would be like holes in his memory, or suddenly he doesn't remember the harmony, or suddenly he doesn't remember which note to hit in the melody, and so on. So how to do this? And they said to him, okay, then do not try to play all of it. Actually, try to put everything on the basis of that swing, and just try to play the bass. I'll just remind you of that piece. It begins like. And so on. It's a pretty known piece. So, and I said to him, okay, then do not play everything, just try to stick to the bass. And try to work out the melody line and the bass and make sure that it works. And he was trying to say, no, you don't do it while playing and singing. You actually do it in your hand, while keeping your hands on the keys. And you did it one time only, and it was enough to anchor again, to appeal to this inner intelligence and the right brain that is at work at this moment. The right brain put together perfectly all the pieces of the puzzle, and he could play the piece. And as I said, in my work, I actually give to my people dozens, tons of those tips and tricks, because that's a universal solution. If you want to get unstuck and quickly and kind of painlessly, well, you've got to find this alternative. You've got to appeal to your inner hearing, and how to do it. There are many different ways. I gave you some tips. Go ahead, use them, and come for more in my different programs. So I'll see you on the other side.